This video is about recreating the blue archive hair highlight effect in Blender. First, add an image texture node. Choose the extracted hair spec texture. Make sure the color space of the texture node is set to non-color. The spec texture is a custom tangent map for the model. It stores vector information, and its real value range is from -1 to 1. But since an image can only store values from 0 to 1, we add a vector map node, multiply by 2, then subtract 1, to remap it back to -1 to 1. Add a dot product node in the geometry node. Then take the remap spec texture and dot it with the view direction. When the vectors are close to 90 degrees, the dot product is close to 0. After adding an absolute node, we can see this black line. This is the highlight area. But right now, as the view changes, the highlight moves incorrectly. This is because the coordinate axes in Blender and Unity are different. So we add a vector rotate node and change the type to Euler. Set the Y rotation to 90 degrees. Now when we rotate the view, the effect is correct. Add a color ramp node and set it like I do here. The alpha channel of the spec texture stores the highlight mask information. The highlight will not appear in these black areas. Add a multiply node and multiply the alpha value of the spec texture with the highlight. Now the black areas of the mask no longer have highlights. Duplicate a mixed color node and an HSV node. Connect the nodes like I do here, and set the value of this HSV node to 2. Next, let's merge the highlight setup with the shadow. Adjust the order of the mixed color nodes, and put the highlight effect before the shadow. Finally, the highlight area can be adjusted with the color ramp node. Next, let's talk about the principle behind the spec texture. I duplicated the hair model, and used the geometry node setup to display the tangent direction from the spec texture on the model. Look at these arrows. They're not pointing in random directions. Each arrow lies on the surface of the hair, representing the tangent at that position. Overall, they are continuous and gradually change along the flow of the hair. If these directions changed randomly, the highlight would also become very messy. So essentially, the spec texture stores one vector at each sampling point. The blue archive highlight is calculated by taking this vector and doing a dot product with the view direction or with some other vector. So what should we do if we do not have a spec texture? Or if we want to create a similar effect on our own model? It is actually very simple. Blender alone is enough. We do not need any other software. This is the highlight effect I quickly recreated. The method is to create a custom UV and use that UV to define the tangent flow on the model. Then we add a noise node to disturb the tangent direction, adding some roughness to the hair strands. The principle behind the custom UV is also very simple. Look at this sphere. Here I am using a tangent node, set to UV map mode, with my custom UV selected. Then I dot it with the view direction. Here, the tangent node plays the same role as the spec texture. This highlight also looks very nice. Let's look at the model's UV. The tangent node generates tangent direction vectors based on the specified UV map. These tangents are unit length vectors. They lie along the surface of the geometry and point in the direction of increasing U coordinates in UV space. If we rotate the UV, the tangents on the model rotate with it. You can simply understand it like this. The direction to the right in the UV, corresponding to each point on the model, is the tangent direction. If you do not fully understand it, that is fine. As long as you know how to use it, that is enough. Now, I will demonstrate the process of creating hair highlights with a custom UV. First, select our character. Enter edit mode, find the hair material, and select all the related faces. Go to the Data tab, and create a new UV map under UV Maps. Select the newly created UV. Now we unwrap the model. Make sure you are in an orthographic view. Press the shortcut U, and choose cylinder projection. Rotate the unwrapped UV by 90 degrees. Now the UV part is done. Cylinder projection is used to make the UV flow direction continuous. Rotating it by 90 degrees is to make the tangent direction correct. Now let's go back to the material panel and create the highlight material. Add a tangent node. Set the tangent mode to UV map, and select the UV we just created. Duplicate the dot product and absolute nodes. Connect them, and the result is correct. Use this to replace the spec texture, and connect it to the color ramp node. Rotate the view, and the highlight behaves correctly. Then we can disturb the tangent direction. Add a mapping node, a combine XYZ node, a mix node, and a noise texture node. Press Ctrl T to expand the mapping setup for the noise texture node, and set the white scale to 10. Now the highlight has some hair strand texture. If you want to turn this custom tangent in another software, you can use Blender's texture baking feature. I will demonstrate it with this hair model that I separated earlier. Clear the other materials, and keep only the material you want to bake. Otherwise, the other materials will also be baked. In the hair material, select the mapping node and apply vector math to it. Add 1, then divide by 2. Use Ctrl-Shift to preview this vector as the color output. Create a new image texture. Enable 32-bit float. Give it any name you like. Set the color space to none color. Make sure the model is selected, and the image texture is also selected. Go back to the U versus, and choose the original UV0, not the UV map we created ourselves. Switch to cycles, and choose GPU. Unless your GPU is slower than your CPU, you should use GPU baking. Set the bake type to emit. Then click bake. Let's check the result of this texture. Now you have learned how to create the blue archive hair highlight material.